What? Y'all know the words? Okay, never mind. Catch you to market, move, whatever. But at the end of the day, if you don't come open to receive something, you'll walk out what you came in with, which is nothing. You have to be open to what's going on, and the information is dropping. I got here in time to see my good brother, Dr. Oliver, drop it. And the first thing I said was, I should have worn my sneakers because, But then again, I go, my stuff don't coordinate like my man. He coordinates his stuff, right? He's up here doing this thing and this powerful messaging. So my job now is to wrap this all together, shut it down, and send you on your way. Now, Lita, I don't remember exactly what my title of my speech was supposed to be. What was it? Do you remember?
I don't remember. Breaking the or something.
Let me go through the slide.
Right. Regardless of what she said, we all know that Mark doesn't really care what you're talking about. Because Mark's going to talk what he's going to talk about, and it's going to just happen to fit in the line, because I heard things today already that were aligning with my speech that no one even knew I was writing. Dr. Oliver was on it, Brittany was on it, other sister was on it. People have been mentioning things all day long that have something and everything to do with off the bench. You just didn't know it, but I'm about to make it clean. So one of the things I do every single year is I have a word of the year. And in my word of the year, it's my anchor. It's what I stand on all year. It reminds me if I slide a little bit off to the left or I forget what I'm doing, I go back to my word of the year to center myself. Last year's word was willing. Are you willing? Willing leader, willing entrepreneur. It doesn't really matter for those who write speeches and who want to speak. This is just a quick hack on how to build content. Everything was around the word willing. Everything. And I had a lot of speeches, a lot of content. Sometimes we need to be a little bit reckless because you've been stagnant for so long that you can't really move unless you have an exacting opposite action force to move you forward. You need to break these bonds and break these chains that are binding you, and you have to just break out and run the other direction. Bold, on the other side, is more of an intellectual type of thing. Fear is not gone, but I'm dealing with it a little bit better. I'm analyzing, I'm trying to make moves, I'm trying to see how we're going to put this together. It's logical. I feel like, have felt like, that one needs the other for us to get off our bench. I feel like when fearless intersects with bold, you can have your off the bench moment. Here's how. If I'm bold, I'm making bold moves. What are you making bold moves? That means you thought about it, you worked about it, you dreamed about it, you analyzed it, you get with coaching, you're doing whatever, and you're about to make a move that they didn't see coming. That's bold. But until you make said move, you're still sitting on the bench. It's a great business plan or a great vision, not necessarily something you want to do. Fearless goes, I ain't got no plan, I ain't got no parachute. Matter of fact, I'll build it on the way down. But if I don't go now, if I don't take my opportunity now, forget my fear, I'm going to miss my opportunity. And what I also know is that opportunities don't go away. They go to the person who's most prepared. And if you're sitting here like with the pitch competition, who wants to come up? Everybody's like, I ain't gonna do this. And who wins? Somebody in the back who thought they couldn't participate took their shot. We talked about taking shots earlier. If you don't take it, you ain't gonna make it. So here we go. We're starting to line things up. Fearless and bold have to coexist in the same space. They can't go at the same time. They cannot go at the same time. I need to fear less so I can be bolder, or I can be bold and then be fearless after I thought about it. Me jumping off the Stratosphere Hotel required some boldness and some fearlessness. This is going to work, so I'm strapped in, right? Nothing's going to happen to me when I jump. You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. I get to the top. I'm looking over the edge, and at this moment, bold does mean nothing. I need to be fearless. I took the step, and there, landed like Spider-Man. It was amazing. Mark, I spent the whole year doing fearless stuff. Mark, is that you jumping off? Yeah, that's me. Mark, yeah, that's me. Are you in the car in San Francisco without a driver in it? I'm not getting in that car. I did, and it was amazing. I didn't think I'd like it, but I was fearless anyway. It was no time for bold. Because bold will have you rationalize your stuff so much that you sit back down and become scared again. That's what bold will do for you if you allow it. But if you work with them together, it could actually work. I like watching, everybody knows this by now, I like watching reality TV. And not the trashy stuff y'all be watching. I don't want to care about nobody's housewife. I don't want to care about nobody's R&B hip-hop kids. No. I watch man versus nature, man versus obstacle, man versus life. Give me, Deadliest Catch. Give me Gold Rush. Give me Wicked Tuna. But my newest one is called The Summit. Y'all watch that one? You need to watch the summit. Oh my goodness. The summit is simply this. There's a group of about 14 people who are traversing up a mountainside to the top, to the summit. Hold on, it gets better. Everybody has there's $1 million prize divided amongst the people, and everybody has a cut in the back. So you got to walk the trails, do these things, and all of a sudden there's these big challenges. And now you're facing your biggest fears. And you go, people are like, I don't want to do this. I'm going to quit. I'm going to die. But if I think about this money behind me, I got to give it up. I'm going to lose it. I'm going to go try it. I'm going to get out here and do it. There was no time for a boat. I need to be fearless. I need to move with recklessness to move forward. I'm going to lose my money. And so they start doing stuff. And the slowest person, they get to the camp. Oh my God, we made it to the base camp. Here comes commentator. I'm glad you guys made it to the base camp. As you know, you got dinner and champagne, but somebody's got to go. Oh no! We got to vote somebody off and take their money. She was a little bit slow. She was keeping us behind, blah, blah, blah. And they vote them off and they add more money to their backpack. You lose, we split your money. You quit, we don't get your money. We don't get there in 14 days, we don't get no money for anybody. It's an amazing show, you need to watch it. What I found that when it comes to fearing less, and again, I watch with intention, usually. And what happens is each tasking they do, they go from ultimate terror and fear, real fear. And each time they fear less. Each time they fear less. Each time they fear less. And all of a sudden it becomes logical. Now I need to move. Now I need to strategize. I need to stay in this game. And they do these things because then when they go to the next big challenge, the first thing they go is, I didn't think I could do this in the first place. But I did that once. I'm going to do this one now. See what happened? When fearing less moves in, I can become bold. I can then get off the bench and move, and you can keep your $1 million if you make it to the top. Where are you when it comes to your business and your growth? Where are you with your fearlessness and fearing less this year as you prepare for 2025? How have you been planning for it? I get bold. A lot of bold, but sometimes I have fear. I sit in the back of the room. I didn't throw my hand up for the pitch contest. But if I had, I'm coming to tear stuff down because I'll stop thinking about it. I'm going to just jump and go. You get to that spot, you can make this thing work. Fear and fearless and bold. Those things make it work. But how are we going to bring this all together as we talk about this stuff today? My off the bench, I've been talking about this forever, since you've known me and before that. The off the bench concept is really simple. I played sports, because you can tell, I played hockey. And I lied. I played football, I played basketball. And so that moment comes, if you're not a starter, you are on the what? And that moment in the game comes where, depending on what level you are on said bench, could get your opportunity. And they tell you always be prepared because you never know. Watch football Sunday, 47 people went down with broken knees, twisted it. Some dude who didn't think he was going to play that day, all of a sudden is now in the lineup. He was prepared. He was ready to go. You have to be prepared. So when the off-the-bench moment comes, the moment that opportunity meets preparation and you get up and take your step, that's the off-the-bench. Your dreams, your desires, everything that you want sits with you on the bench. Now, unfortunately, with fear, we have it that fear has taken the place and actually enslaved it, encapsulated, and put it behind you. Your dreams, your aspirations, and your potential are all subject to your fear. Slaves. It won't come out. You ever lose your creativity? Oliver, you know it. You lost your creativity, right? And how do you get your creativity back? What do you do, Dr. Oliver? What do you do to get your creativity back or reconnect with it?
I sit and think about what I've already done.
Leader?
Call somebody like Mark.
Hey, Lita. 2.5 hours later, we got this joint together. We're ready. Right, call the speaker man. That's what you do. Call me. But you're right. You have to go back and think about what you've done. You have to kind of go back and stuff. But if you're in your emotions and you try to go back to look at things, I feel like you're going to miss some stuff. When you're in your emotions, you cannot evaluate clearly what happened. There's a word that I learned last year. It's a Ghanaian phrase called sankofa. Sankofa, actually. Sankofa is the act that means it's not taboo to go back and get. It's not taboo to go back and get information. It's not taboo to go back and get knowledge. It's not taboo to go back. What we do is we go back and I want to relive this joint like a rerun. He did this to me, and she did that to me, and what was said in the divorce, and I didn't want to talk to her, and she didn't want to talk to me. Her and her family go kick rock. But what was the lesson?
Right.
What did we learn? What did we learn? I had to take the journey to Sankofa. I had to go back and analyze some stuff. You don't know my full story. I lost a whole business. Before I became the speaker man, I was actually the cookie man. And when I was a cookie man, I was doing it up. And then it all went away. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to make no cookies. I didn't want to smell no cookies. I lost 15 pounds not eating cookies. Christmas time came, my baby girl wanted to make cookies. Go talk to your mama. Daddy don't make cookies no more. I got on stage. I talked about everything but business. Now recognizing the gems that I went through could help someone move forward. So as I got more mature, as I got through counseling, as I talked to the people, I was forced to take the journey of Sankofa and go back and get the information because it laid in the rubble of my life. You had to dig it out and get to it to make that book because the book is going to talk about it, but I had to go get it. Leave nothing behind. Is that what you said this morning? Leave nothing behind. I left all that joint. Gone. Didn't care. But when I went back to get it, I was able to bring it forward to build. And with that knowledge, I became more bold because I'm analyzing it now with less fear. With less fear, how do you shape it up? How can you make this work for you? I don't know what your next steps are going to be. I don't know when your next off the bench moment is coming. But I'm guaranteeing you this, 100%, if you make no moves, you'll never get in the game. You'll never get in the game. Someone once told me that, let's see if I make this statement correctly, whatever you did to get here is not enough to keep you here, nor is it enough to get you to your next level. I'm gonna run it again for those in the back. Whatever you did to get here is not enough to keep you here and definitely not enough to get you to your next level. You come to the bold branding, bachelor's, whatever we at, to get to your next level. Everybody say next level. Well, unfortunately, some of you will not get to your next level because you've not given any more energy. You've not given the extreme effort. The mental toughness and extreme effort what's required to go to your next level. You got to do what other people aren't doing. Someone mentioned earlier today, that it's like competition versus yourself. Britt, I call it the you versus you battle. If I cannot win my own battle fighting against fear and bold, if I can't win that, I'm not getting anywhere. Spinning my wheels, stuck where I am, won't go to nothing else, and yet I try, and I'm spending money because I'm not investing, because I'm not getting anything out of it, because my mindset is fixed. It's fixed on where I am, which is in fear, because you ain't taking your own journey to go back and see what it is without the emotions and figure out what's going on with your life. Y'all didn't ask for all this, but you're going to get all of it. You get all of it because I really be talking to myself most of the time. These are private conversations. Right? And so if you're not ready to do those things and go back and get it, how are you moving forward? It's not even a lot of, if you stop and pause about what you need to do to go next steps, they're minor modifications. They're tweaks. There are just some things you need to do that you need to do now that you couldn't have done then because you weren't ready. You weren't ready. You did what you ran out there fearlessly, jumped out there. Yeah, I'm here. And you go, I have no infrastructure. I don't have a web page, a Twitter page, or X page. Matter of fact, I'm on MySpace. That's where I am. I'm over there. I'm on MySpace. Wonder why I ain't got no followers. So wait a minute. So another show, so let me tell you, let me wrap this into a show for you because I love the analogy. I watched another show, right? On the long lines of Gold Rush. It's called fixing the Gold Rush family. Like you got your own plant. And you jump out here and go, oh my God, I watched this show. I'm gonna make this gold. I'm gonna go dig up the earth and get these ounces of gold. So you think. They jump out there with all the little makeshift stuff, it's smaller and whatever, because on Gold Rush, they got $1 million rigs behind them, moving cubic tons of earth by the hour. And you got this little machine over here making coffee. That's what you got. And you wonder why your stuff don't work. And so everything is fit. Your whole life's fortune has been put into this little plant, and you get 0.0025 ounces of gold. The commentator comes on and says, they've got 0.25 gold. That's about $20. They won't be able to buy fuel with that. Oh no! Fuel, payroll, whatever. And you think, oh no, how are they going to make it? They're not going to make it. In come two OGs. The OGs have fixed so many plants all over the world, and what their deal is we'll come in and fix it. You pay for the parts, And if we get you double the amount of your gold or make you more, you give us percentage at the end of the year of what you made. And they go, okay. They look at the plant. The plant is simple. There's a place to put the dirt. There's a place that mixes the dirt and cleans it out and shakes it loose. Water washes it off, and then it shrivels off to the ripple, and the ripple grabs the gold. 80% of the shows that I watch, the issue is not the dirt, it ain't the trommel with the water, it's where the gold is caught. They don't have it fixed. All the good stuff is gone and left with whatever it is, 0.025 ounces of gold. So they go in there and make the fix. They go in and widen up the place where they drop the dirt. They go and power up the trommel a little bit. And most importantly, they go and fix the ripple. They give it different water patterns and add another filter. I watch way too much of this. And they put it in there, and then all of a sudden, the same dirt they were digging, the same road they were running, run another 4 hours, let's run a test on it. Oh my God, it's a half an ounce of gold. What was the difference? They made modifications. If you're sitting here wondering why you're not getting to your next step and you've not made any modifications, you're just like this family over here trying to make this gold. No modifications. All the good stuff has been washed back off to the side because you're not paying attention, giving it, or more importantly, leader, you're not willing. Not saying you cannot do it, you're just not willing to try. You're not willing to put the information in it. So you either or climbing the mountain with the people trying to get to the summit, or you the people over here with the gold thing that don't work. One of the two. But both of them were fearless, both of them bold, but somewhere along the line, the patterns didn't work. And that's the trick. If you're going to move off your bench and get next level, you have to take these steps and get ready to go. I mean, there's so many things that have happened in my life when it comes to the cookie store and business and whatnot. I got stories for days. We won't talk about most of them, but I'm going to tell you one story. Here's a story about where I work now. I work in a place, if I can't tell you where I work, you can get to where I work. It's amazing that you can get in to see me. If you got in to see me, then I know that you know what I know, but you can't come see me. It is what it is. Did you catch all that? That's where I work. There's a whole article of me in the Washington Post. I promise you it's there. Just Google Mark Wiggins, comma, CIA, and you'll find me. I run the gift shop there, right? I run the gift shop. And one of the things I get to do is bring in new merchandise and sell stuff to people, all kinds of other places. And we get customers that come in the door that really don't know what they want. And they come into the store and they don't know what they want, but they expect you to know what you want. Like, hey, we want this. You give them that. He goes, not what we asked for. I said, that's what you said. This is what you asked for. So now we're into customer service lane. Now we've got to understand what you're trying to say versus what I'm saying or whatnot. Well, when we go to market and we look for these new merchandise, I go to shows all over the country. We go to places that have done the pitch work, have been picked up. They're sitting in the temporary section with a brand new next idea. And you bring them into the store and people look at it and go, what is that? That's just the next best thing. No, it's not. No, it's not. And sure enough, later on, it's the thing. And like, well, how did you know that, Mark? Because I was there. I marvel at the people who set up in these booths and take their ideas and are bold enough and fearless enough to sit there and have you look at me and tell me my stuff ain't no good. And I paraphrase. And I go, okay, thanks. And go on to the next one and to the next one until someone says yes. And you bring the product in and I make my product and make it go. These people are bold and fearless at the same time. So when I bring that back into the store and people come in and ask for it, all of a sudden, they don't know what they want. I start showing them new stuff because guess who the SME is? I am. I tell you what it is. They go, this is amazing, Mark. I go, I know. And they go tell everybody all of a sudden they're buying all my stuff. But if I weren't willing to take a risk on being bold on the merchandise, then sometimes it's fearless. We don't know if it's going to sell or not. Matter of fact, there's a theory. The theory goes like this. If you and your staff love the merchandise that you're about to buy, it will not sell. If you hate it, got questions about it, don't know what about it, it is a number one seller. Here's the difference. When it don't work, I'm thinking about what I like. I'm not really caring what you like. When I think about what you want, is irrelevant what I like. I got to give you what you're asking for. Minor tweaks to your mindset to get it going. And when you make these minor tweaks to your business, you can get to wherever you want to get. So life goes on. But anyway, this is what we're going to do. So now, as I get ready to wrap this down, I'm going to give you my 3.5 ways to help you be fearlessly bold to move from your bench to the starting lineup of life. This is the longest title I could possibly come up with. How to be fearlessly bold Moving from the bench to the starting line of life. Here's the number one. Get your pencils out, and we're about to start talking. Number one. The first thing you need to do is to suspend disbelief. Suspend disbelief. What am I referring to? You have spent plenty of time talking about what you can't do, what others have said. Well, they've tried it and it didn't fail. Then we stand by and say, but they ain't me. I'm going to do it. I can make this pitch better than anyone else. Can you? If you suspend disbelief just for a moment and believe that you can and act like you could and see what it feels like, then you become familiar with the feeling of success. As opposed to spending your time in fear, capsulated, thinking about, oh, they're going to laugh at me. Well, we're already laughing. You haven't been laughed at in your life? You haven't been called a name or two, whatever in your life, and all of a sudden you're concerned about what people got to say? Listen, by being at this conference, you're 95% further along than most people you know at this moment. I'm going to give you 96.7 on that one, actually. Just by being in this room. But if you suspend disbelief for a moment and actually believe what can be done, what could be achieved, and own it, feel it, and ready to go, I promise you, you'll feel a bit different about yourself. Right? Second one, point 2. Get out of your feelings and get in your bag. Get out your feelings. You and your feelings. When I'm in my feelings, I can hear nothing else. When I'm in my feelings, you just make bad decisions. Just last night, this is just in your emotions. You make bad decisions. I just gotta be more tactical in what you do. Look, hold on. Just this morning, I'm on the way up to the thing. I'm getting up, gotta take care of this, whatever. We get the lead up, whatever. Britt texting, where you at? Where you at, girl? I'm around the corner. I'll be there in a minute. I stopped by my favorite store, not Chick-fil-A, and I stopped in the Dunkin' Donuts, right, to get something to eat. Here's what I ordered. I ordered a plain croissant with bacon. What does plain mean? What did I get? I got no egg and cheese. Lactose, problem. I get the thing outside. I get to the car, open it up, about to sink my whole face in it. I open it up and said, look at this blankety blank cheese on my sandwich. And the piece of paper that it came on. I was about to say, you know what, I'm going to just go ahead and roll on out of here. I'm going to worry about it. I got to get here. Britt texting me, bro, where you at? I'm on my way. Then I said, oh no, I need to fix this. I rolled back in there. I said, we're about to handle all this morning. I walked with straight D attitude. I feel so bad, but here's the real story. So I'm in my emotions. I go into the counter, I'm like, look at here, bro. This right here is not what I ordered. I need to get this fixed. And it was a foreign person. And he says, okay, what did you want? Boom, 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 boom. And I'm thinking he's going to say, hey, I'm so sorry. We'll get you another one. We'll get you 2 and some donuts. This make it blah, 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 blah. I go in here all the time. This dude did one of his numbers and threw it in the trash and walked away. Bruh, I was ready for a whole conversation up in this bam. I was about to say, hold the hell up. Wait a minute. Thank you, Holy Spirit. I held my tongue and he walked away. He was not mad at me. He was mad at dude. He walked over there and in his native tongue said what he had to say to dude. He said, well, no, I don't know. He pulled up and said, it says plain right there. And because I know he said this, they started laughing in his language. You left the paper on it, you dumb. And he started laughing. Da, 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 da. So make it plain with no egg. I'm like, dude, I asked for a plain croissant. Had I been in my emotions in today's environment, because I was going to turn that whole restaurant over a croissant sandwich? Get out your emotions, get into your bag. By getting in your bag, I mean get to work, do the work, deal with your fears, make them fearless. I had an event this summer, 2 events I was going to, and I was fearless. I was fearful. Sorry. One of the things as a vision, creative, big brain, don't do details. Not my thing. Logistics, not my thing. I see it, let's go get it. They go like, how? I don't know, that's not my job. As I went to try to prepare for these 2 major events that were back-to-back, I've been do vending for 2 sororities, Sigma Gamma Rho and Zeta Phi Beta. I went to Indiana first and was going to go to Houston. My business partner was having some degradation about the whole operation that summer. I'm ready to move and fly because I'm watching the big boys. They fly, they move, they ship their stuff in, whatever. He has a little bit more fragile product. He didn't want to do anything. He's like, we need to drive. I said, who driving? To Indy and to Houston? Bro, I ain't got that kind of time. We need to get here, get ready to go. The bold part came when I went ahead and made the plans, got logic, Put the emotions over there. Laid it all out, picked the hotel, got the third-party courier, this, that, and the third. Guy was going to cost me, invested my money. I got real money on the table to go get this money, right? I get ready to go. And I told my partner, I said, listen here, bro, you ain't got to go. But Mark has to. Because I'm going to be fearless this year in 2024 and fearless, I've got to do what I said I was going to do and deliver. Now, we move forward. He finally comes around. I didn't particularly care. I only cared that I delivered on what I said I was going to do. Get there. He had an amazing show. We changed his whole buying operation, da-da-da-da. And now all of a sudden, let's fly across the country. Yeah, bro, I've been trying to tell you this all day. Mark was scared to death I was going to lose it all. I was scared to death. But guess how I would have lost it all? Listen to him. They said they was about to cost me $30,000. That's what they was about to do. Because I was going to be scared and not go. I can't do that. But you've got to be able to get out of your emotions and get into your bag and get to work and get it done. Number 3. Now, this one is someone mentioned SMART goals today, and I stopped talking about SMART goals years ago. When I recognized that when you are specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound, there was a couple of letters in the middle that caused the most problems. Would you care to guess what they are? The A and the R. Attainable and realistic. Some of y'all setting goals that are not realistic nor attainable. Based on where you are right now. You can set a goal. I can go 2.5 million Greek. That is a realistic goal because I know people and touch them who do it. However, Mark is not there yet. Mark cannot attain that goal. Why am I wasting time setting a 2.5 mil goal? Let's start with a 60. Let's start with a 35,000. Let's start with a break even. Right? Let's start with a break even. That's obtainable and it's realistic. You want to cause yourself more fear, set big goals that you know you cannot get based on where you are right now. That's when you cannot get them. That's not what I'm ever going to say to you. Dream big, make it big. Oh yeah, whatever. But set some real goals. Success is not one major event. It's a series of small wins along the way that send you to your destination. Go ahead and set the $1 million goal. Oh, I got one. But in the meantime, I got a break even, a 30 and a 50 and a 60. I'm not built for it. I heard Magic Johnson speak at the place I can't tell you where I work at. Magic Johnson was there yesterday. And he was talking about this very thing. When he went to, and by the way, I didn't know Magic was moving as much as he was moving. Like he's in infrastructure, whatever. He was sitting in a pitch for Disney. Disney called all the vendors in. He wanted Disney. And he has been doing some stuff with his business or whatever. And he thought he was ready. He gets down there to Disney World and Disney goes, when we want 1 billion napkins, we want 1 billion napkins when we said we want it. Magic looked at his team and says, we're not ready, and rolls out. I was like, that's amazing. The ability to be able to say where you are and where you're not and deal with it is also a superpower. It was not an obtainable goal for them at that moment, but a few years later, bro got Disneyland and Disney World. He's killing them for the past 12 years. Simply saying, you got to be able to set obtainable and realistic goals. What's number 1? I fell asleep up in this joint. Number 2. Number 3. Set realistic goals. Here comes the point 5. Now, the point 5 is the thing I drop on you and walk off the stage and go, oh my God, Mark, you're amazing. Because you're about to forget everything else I told you and remember this particular point right here. Set the stage, here we go. I was doing some research. Have anyone been to the restaurant 1799? Yeah. Amazing. Did you read what about you? About how they got there? Let me give you a quick synopsis of how they got there. 1799 has a lot to do with slavery. Quickly go back and read it. It's amazing. Somebody comes from Kenya, they come over, they go to Maryland, they take them, family gets shipped down to Virginia to George Washington's estate. The restaurant's sent in Old Town, but that's a whole nother story. They get shipped to George Washington's estate, the family gets there, whatever. George Washington, in his will, says when Martha died, free the slaves. George dies. Martha held the slaves for another 2 years, and then she released them. 1799 is when George died. 1801 is when they were free. Martha, back in them days, as I read in my history book, lies, I just looked up a line that's not in the history books. In order for when the owner frees a slave, it took an act, a vote, because a piece of property needed to sign a deed in the trust. That act is called manumission. Manumission, the act of freeing slaves. Rev Nate missed all of it. They just missed it. I told you earlier that your dreams, your desires, your goals, and your potential have been held captive, and they've been captive by fear. In order to release those items, you need to manumission your fear and release your goals. You talking about some deep stuff? When I read that, Dr. Olive, I was like, hold on, did I read that right? I got to release my own stuff? Wait, so that means I'm responsible for the fear that I carry right now, and the things I don't do, I'm on my own bitch because I won't release my own stuff. I got potential, and you know how I feel about potential. It's unrealized energy. It's waiting for the opportunity to engage in something and move something, but you got it locked up with fear. You're not bold enough yet. You haven't feared less enough yet to let yourself go. The first thing was what? Suspend disbelief. What if you let your stuff go? What would you be? Where would you go? What's holding you back? Oh, wait, you are. I wrote a whole book, leader. Permission to Succeed. The only person who needs to give it is you. Had I known any better, I just said manumission. Because exactly what I was saying back then and didn't know. Dealing with yourself, dealing with your past, getting things together, and saying, I'm worthy, I'm good enough, I'm going to go release myself. If you're here today, as we open the doors of the church, if you here sit today, and you still can't figure out how to get to your next best you, if you can't be better than you were yesterday, everybody say better. If you're unable to figure out how you're able to get better than you were yesterday to today, I submit to you this morning, manumission your stuff. Number one. Number two. Number three. Point five. As I wrap this down, as my daddy always liked to say, if you can reach your dreams with a step ladder, then they're probably too low. Thank you.